His history should be known to many. In 1968, he joined the Kashmir Students' League, and as a part of his membership, he was rewarded with a year's worth of incarceration in the central jail of Srinagar under the Defense of India rules. In 1973, he led a procession on the 13th of November 1973 against bilateral talks occurring between Indira Gandhi and then Sheikh Abdullah, and said that only Kashmiris, his only crime was that saying Kashmiris should be a part of these talks. And when he meant Kashmiris, he didn't mean the Sheikh. He meant the popular will and aspirations of the people that were unrepresented. His reward for that was 21 months in different interrogation centers and jails across Jammu and Kashmir under the well-known Public Safety Act. In 1989, he was the chief spokesperson for the JKLF, and in 1992 was arrested and again incarcerated in the still infamous Papa 2 interrogation center. I don't think I need to tell people what used to go on there. Currently, now living in exile, much to his chagrin, he is the president of the Kashmir Global Council and lives in Canada. He continues to advocate and write about what's happening in Kashmir. And without further ado, Farooq Sab, the floor is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Can you hear me, all of you?
Yes.
Okay. Rabbi adkhilni madkhala sidqan wakhrajni makhraja sidqan wajalni min al-sultan al-nasira. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim again. While sitting here, I was trying to figure out how to start and what to speak, given the constraints of the time and your patience. But however, as Sri Fazli Sahab said, that we all know history, which is very correct, but sometimes history is being distorted and written by the powers of the state. That is what has happened in all over history. Whenever we told back to the histories, it's written mostly by the state and the powerful. And the real history gets behind and eventually in oblivion. I want to speak here and give you two things about what I want. One is the distorted history that we are basically suffering because of that. The second one is our narrative. What is our narrative, and what is exactly that we are looking for in order to be part of the nations that, alongside other nations, where we can also progress. The world is moving in the far-off spaces. The knowledge of technology is taking other nations way ahead. We are going into the deep sea to find out what is beneath our planet. But us, Vinyawanan, Panin Zat Path, Myanya Madanwara, Yisha Mulakat. Our history is that Kashmir has been a nation for the last 5,000 years, irrespective of whether they were Buddhist, Hindus, Pandits, Muslims, or any other faith. But we existed on those mountains between Karakoram, Hindu Kush, and Himalayas, and became a safe haven for those who wanted to flee the persecutions of Halaku Khan, Genghis Khan, or those Persians. So Kashmir basically is a consortium and a refuge of all those people who have come mostly from the north, from the Central Asia, and settled in Kashmir. And we are a nation built, and our psyche, like you people are here. Why don't I see any Pakistani or Indian here? Because you want to be a Kashmiri. That is an instinct that you have within yourself to be a Kashmiri. And every time when you speak to anybody, you say that I'm from Kashmir. You never say that I'm from India, I'm from Pakistan. That is the national or sub-nationality that you have inherited, and that is your psyche. Now, let me come back to history again. Kashmir, as I said, irrespective of who was ruling us, whether they came from outside, was itself a country. It was not part of British India. I want to make this point very clear, that the partition of the so-called consortium of all those princely states and Maharajas and all that stuff, by virtue of the act that was passed in 1947, 25th of May, I suppose, in British Parliament, that we will create two dominions in South Asia. One on the basis of nation, Muslims and Hindus, because both Nehru or Gandhi and Jinnah, they were working for two-nation theory. And the British Parliament came out with an act which is called the British Parliament Act of 1947, and said that we create two dominions, India and Pakistan, and give them. When I say dominions, there's a little difference between dominion and a country. A dominion still had its crown relationship with the British crown. That's why they had Lord Mountbatten as the first Governor General of Free India. They had Mr. Jinnah as Governor General of Pakistan. That British Parliament did not have an effect on Kashmir. Kashmir was not part of British India. If you see the history or you see the maps of those times, it was completely an independent country. The only problem was that there were discriminatory laws imposed by Maharaja, against whom then a person called Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah, who was a leader those days, he was trying to get the civil liberty movement going on from 1931 to 1947. So the issue there was that those discriminatory laws which were imposed by Maharaja should not be there, and will of the people should begin. People should govern their own state. That was basic emphasis of that movement. But in 1947, we came across an invasion by the tribesmen from across Pakistan, an invasion from India in the same month, 22nd October from Pakistan, 27th October from India. So a country was divided, and this country was taken away from its own people. So that is our history. It is something like you have a house and there are two intruders coming in your house. One takes your home, one room, another takes another room, and then when you resist, they say, okay, let's get an arbitrator from outside. And the arbitrator says, okay, let us see what these people want or the house owner wants. But then these two occupiers again connive and say that no, you give the choice whether the owner of the house can stay with me or he can stay with the other intruder. That is our problem. I am saying, we are saying, the aspiration, the predominant aspiration of the people of Kashmir is that, hey, please, this is my home, let me see how I can govern it. I have the capacity, I don't want to go into the economy of it, that's a different subject, but I have the capacity to be a part of a very developed nation like others all over the world. If a neighbor like India, a neighbor like China can become powers, Kashmir has that capacity. It has those resources, which is being plundered. Brad Pitt, if you know, he gave his wife one jewel worth $7.8 million, which is from Kashmir's Kishtwar mine. It was auctioned in New York. $7.6 million. One small gem, blue pearl, blue diamond from Kishtwar. That's on the surface there. Anyway, I don't want to go into that, but the problem is that our narrative must be that, please, you are occupying us, you better leave from us. Now, how can we do that? We can only do it if all of us, do not become the partners of either of the occupiers. If we do not have our own narrative and put forward to the world, I don't know if world at these times are going to listen to us, because nobody is going to listen to you if you want that Kashmir should be taken from India and given to Pakistan, or taken from Pakistan, given to India as a territorial issue. Nagorno-Karabakh is still there, Solomon Islands are still there, they're all territorial issues. Cyprus is there, it's a territorial issue. Nobody bothers, world is not bothered about it. Yes, what is world can see at any stage, not with Trump or Biden, but world can see that your human rights are being curbed, for which we have worked. But we have tried our best. We reached the brink. But in the end, I don't want to go again into that when it's a controversy. So that narrative is what Kashmir Global Council is preparing. That narrative is our own narrative. And who should represent? Not me. I should not represent you. He should not represent you. You should elect somebody who can represent you. And Kashmir Global Council is saying that let us make senators. Let us select senators from you who will sit down, who are great people. They are well-learned, educated, they can understand things. Let us sit down, let from each representative colony of Kashmir, a senator becomes their representative. then those senators can sit down within one room for 10 days, discourse, and find out what is the best way to move forward. Not listen to Farooq Siddiqi, because I have my own mind. I have my own ways of thinking. But this has to be a collective thinking. A collective thinking should be representative character. I went to State Department one day. They said that India is a democratic country and it has representative from Parliament, and they are saying that it's it's integral part. In the similar way, Pakistani people are very well advocating their cause about United Nations resolutions which have passed in 1949. So they are saying that this is supposed to be a territorial issue. That is what is Kashmiri's narrative. We are dumbfounded because we have not established it. So my point is that you sit down, decide a group of senators from, why should there be an election conducted under the military occupation? 800,000 military occupying in Kashmir, and then you are saying that, oh, I am making a democratic process of electing people. It doesn't work. You are the representative. You should be free. If I pick you here and say that this guy is going to represent the Hazratable constituency, let anybody from Kashmir say that no, he is not. That is how you will become the senator. We have the Kashmir Global Council has a blueprint. Anybody who wants to be a part of it, be a part of senator. Then decide your narrative. Even if you want to go to China, India, Pakistan, or stay independent, it is you people who will decide it.
Two
not
minutes,
me,
Farooq,
not him.
Please.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I am so much grateful to my family sitting there.